EA Sports.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. This is a new series I'm going to be starting on my channel, so if you'd like to learn basic tips or more advanced tips throughout the year, then go ahead and subscribe and come back for more from this series. For this episode, I'm going to be showing you guys who are struggling with solo battles or you're new to the game. I'm going to show you how to get legend tier very easily. This is my team just to show you an example of who I'm using. You definitely don't need all elites or amazing players everywhere. You just need speed. So if you're looking for budget beast players, I will have a video out on that soon, or you can just search that on YouTube. For playbooks, on offense and defense, I'm using both Patriots. If you don't want to use Patriots playbooks, all you need is a formation on offense that has trips wide receivers, and then for defense, you just need a playbook with 3-4 odd. Before selecting a solo battle, make sure you take your time. Do not spam A, because if you go into a rookie level match, it will lower your score significantly, and you want to make sure you choose legend option. Score is most important, especially when trying to get to legend tier, so definitely take your time and select the right difficulty. Once you're out on defense, the play that we're going to be running is going to be out of the 3-4 odd formation, and the key to this is you're going to want really fast outside linebackers and cornerbacks. Once you select the formation, you're going to want to pick pinch buck O. If you played last year and you used mid blitz a lot, I think that's still pretty good to use. I just like pinch buck O better, but this is the play we're going to be using for all solo battles. For adjustments, the footage will be put into slow-mo, but you're going to want to press right on the D-pad to bring up linebacker adjustments, and then press down on the left stick to pinch them. Next, you're going to want to press Y to bring up coverage adjustments, and then press down on the left stick again. That's going to press the wide receivers, and you can see how fast the outside linebacker gets to the quarterback. That's why fast players are so important for this. During this slow-mo, I'm going to be showing you guys your responsibility during each play. You're going to be using whoever's manned up against the running back, because half the time he's going to be blocking, which will leave you as a free man to cover anybody. If the running back does leave the backfield, you will have to follow him as you're the one manned up against him. But either way, this will give you practice with your user, so I want you guys to stick with this. One last thing for defense, once you guys do these adjustments over and over, you'll be able to do them within a second. They're really quick to do. But another thing you want to do before snap is make sure all of your guys are in the right position. You can see there when I pulled up the play, our Amos was not over the tight end. And that can actually hurt you sometimes, because the tight end will do like a flare route or an out route, and your safety will be nowhere near him. So you want to pull your safety over the tight end if he's way off, and you can see how that actually helped in the run game right there. Once out on offense, we're going to be using the trips tight end formation. You're going to want your fastest receiver to be closest to the O-line, and your most sure-handed catch-and-traffic receiver to be closest to the outside. When looking at the formation, if your players are not where you want them to be, you can press RB to move guys around until you're satisfied. I think it goes without saying you're going to want speed at the wide receiver position. At your most inside receiver, you want him at least 85, 86 speed. As for quarterback, if you have the free 86 overall Baker Mayfield, then that's fine, but he will overthrow passes a lot. If you want to get him more consistent, then you want to get play fake chemistry 30 out of 30. If you don't want to invest in chemistries, because it's pretty hard to get 30 out of 30 right now, then you can just buy the Mahomes power up and then get him to an 85 overall. He is a very consistent quarterback for me. Once you select the gun trips tight end formation, we're going to be going with double end sail as a level concept for moving the ball on offense. I'm going to start off showing you two different versions of this play that I run. Once you guys get the hang of it, you can mix in your own stuff. One is for short yardage and the other is for more 10 to 15 yards. For short yardage, we're going to be hot routing the tight end and the two inmost receivers. For the tight end, you're going to want to press Y, A, and then up on the right stick. That's going to put him on a streak. And this is important if you're not getting enough protection and you want to block someone. You always want to use the tight end in both versions of this play. For that, all you have to do is press Y, A, and then right trigger. You do not want to block your running back because he is known as a clearing route. he's going to be moving the linebacker more toward the sideline and getting your other routes open. After your tight end, the second adjustment we will make is with the most inside receiver. You want to press Y, B, and then press down on the right stick. That will put him on a drag. And lastly, you want to press Y, and then put that receiver on a slant. That will change based on what side of the field you're on, but it should be left or right on the right stick. Once the ball is snapped, your read progression should be RB and then B, and then your last option should be Y. You can see when the running back leaves the backfield, he takes the linebacker with him, leaving B wide open. Now, sometimes the linebacker will seem to sit more on the drag. That will leave your first option of the running back open. But if there's two middle linebackers and they're more or less moving slowly to the right and not really leaving B or RB open, that's when that Y receiver slant will be open. The next version of this play I want to show you guys has a deeper route concept, and it's more consistent than the last. I would say use the last play if you want to purposely not move the ball down the field fast, but if you want to have a more consistent play and move the ball faster down the field, use this. To start off, you want to put your tight end on a streak. You want to press YA and then up on the right stick. And just like the last version of this play, if you need an extra blocker, then use the tight end. Your second hot route will be YB, and then you want to put him on a slant. And that's going to be left or right on the right stick, depending on what side of the field you're on. And then from there, you want to press YY up on the right stick for a streak. And then for the last receiver, YX, and then put him on a slant as well. Once the ball is snapped, your read progression is going to be RB, B, and then your last option is X. For this year, during solo battles, I've noticed that the running back doesn't get as open as he used to last year. So I think for this year, the running back will be served more as a clearing route, but he is your first option. For most coverages, the running back will take somebody to the sideline with him, leaving B wide open. If you press X for rack catch, that will make the catch animation a lot smoother and give you a little burst of speed right there. But for this concept, it's important to pay attention to that outside DB coverage, because sometimes they will play a flat route that will sit on the running back, but they're slowly moving backwards. So eventually they will take away that B route when you throw it. So if you see that behavior from the outside DB, that's when you want to use the X route. So when you're playing your solo battle and you're running these two pass concepts, it can get a little stale, but there's good news. This year in solo battles, the run defense isn't as OP as it was last year. So if it's first or second down and you notice that the middle of the field is open, you can press X and audible to the stock running play that's in that formation, and you should be able to get some decent yards and get away from passing so much. If you guys use the information from the video, you should be able to beat the AI consistently on solo battles and get yourself into legend tier easily. Now, don't panic if you lose a game, because the way the score system works, if you're picking the highest difficulty, as long as you win, you have room to lose at least 3 games out of the 13. So if you do your featured game and you win at least 10 games, you should be good. You might have to play 11 if you score really low, but you should be good after 10 games. Lastly, a few more tips I can give to you to make this a little bit easier. When you're on defense and you're using a linebacker or safety, whoever's manned up on the running back, you need to make him always your first priority, because he is your responsibility in coverage. A lot of times he will block, and it could get you into a pattern of just running and trying to find a receiver to cover. So make sure you make him the first priority. If you're moving a player in coverage who's out of position, or maybe you're covering a running back or a receiver and they make a sharp cut and you can't keep up, you make a mistake, just press B and that will get you off of the man that you're using, and the AI will recover in turn, also giving you the player that's closest to whatever player just got away from you. So that's a good way to make up for a mistake if you make one. And on offense, if you're the type of player who really worries about getting sacked, then you can keep that tight end as a blocker all the time. You don't have to put him on a streak. That's completely fine. Instead of putting the tight end on a streak, just go ahead and block him every play. I like having the streak option there because when he runs his route, he carries the safety deeper, So once you do throw that slant, you have more room to run. For the guys who do want to keep that streak option, just keep in mind, especially in important situations like third down, if a safety drops into the box or there's linebackers on both edges, you might want to just take him off that streak and block him just to be safe. And lastly, when you're on offense, the three concepts that I gave you, the short yardage, the more longer yardage, and the running play, those should get you through any solo challenges. You shouldn't have any problems beating the highest difficulty, but it's most important to be patient and wait for your routes to get open. Don't throw it just because it was a completion 2 times in a row. Sometimes the AI will run the same plays and then they'll just switch it up and blitz you out of nowhere, or sometimes they'll just switch it from like cover 2 to randomly cover 4. So you definitely want to make sure to just be patient, make sure you pick the open receiver, and that's pretty much it. You can also save this video to your favorites or your watch later playlist on YouTube, so you can revisit it if you need to. I want to thank you guys for watching. Come back for more Madden 20 content, and I will see you guys in my next video.